right, let's turn the light up. It says I'm live. Log in now, see if you can see it. Shalom, shalom. Y'all by Shimmy out Shah, break a thumb. Y'all was small, a thumb by Shimmy out Shah. See if you can see it, see if I can make it a little brighter. Shalom, Maki Wafia. The I.S.U.P.K. Okay, I see somebody on here. I.S.U.P.K. Virginia, Biblical Law class. It says live chat. Can I talk to people on the live chat? Pop out chat. All right. No sign, Kurt. The chat is up. Okay. I see you. How's my sound?
Okay, you talked about. I just heard you speak, but I think it's my computer. Oh, actually, never mind. You didn't mute it. I can hear myself echoing.
All right, I'm in there. Name, city, state. All right. All right. I see 3 on here. I see Anna, Shalom, Yahweh Shemal, Shimmy Abishai. We up. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Facebook up as well. All right. All right, the water. Shalom, Lord of Christ. All right. We up. We in here. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemal, Shimmy Abishai. We're gonna get it in just a few moments. We're gonna go live here at the helm tonight. Shalom, brother. Y'all by Shimmy Abishai, Bragathah. Sis Anna. Brother William Ballard, young man. Okay. We're going to get it on in just a minute here. All right. Anybody got any questions? We're going to get it. You tune into the I.S.U.P.K. Virginia Biblical Law class. All right. I got the helm tonight. Captain Natazak Nishah breaking down the I.S.U.P.K. Biblical Law class. We're going to get it in just a second. All right. Let's see. All right, let's turn this around. We're going to go live. Let's get it on. All right. We to Wab. All right, let's get it on. You understand? We in here. Let's go live. I.S.U.P.K. Virginia Biblical Law class. Got the light. Man, let's get it on. All right, we up. Shalom. Y'all by Shimmy Abishai Brakathum. Yahweh by Shimmy Abishai Brakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Athon by Shimmy Abishai to the sisters. I.S.U.P.K. Virginia Biblical Law class. You understand? Myself, Priest and Captain Natazak Nishah, holding it down for the class. We're going live here. All right. So anybody got any questions? I.S.U.P.K. Virginia. Just make sure you type your name, city, and state in the comments section there. All right. So we going live in here, okay? Everybody just share the YouTube. You understand? Share the YouTube link, share the class link. All right, we're going to get into it. All right. First, anybody have any questions? Go ahead and type your questions in there. Anybody got any questions? All right. Let me see if I can get this chat up. If it let me bring a chat up while we live. Let's see. Add a description. All right. If y'all watching on the Facebook, y'all go ahead and put your name, city, and state for attendance. All right. Somebody sharing the videos, name, city, and state for attendance. All right. We're going to go ahead. Somebody live. All right. Let's go ahead. We're going to get it started. The I.S.U.P.K. Virginia Law class. All right. So we're going to get into it. Of course, the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? The law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. All right. I got you, bro. Okay. Most High in Christ. Y'all seeing me to Wab on Facebook as well. Okay. Most High in Christ. So the law, statutes, and commandments, this is what the Most High established. This is our power as a people. A lot of times we'll see all kinds of horrible things happening to blacks and Hispanics, you know, brothers and sisters getting killed, brothers and sisters getting shot, you know, brothers and sisters getting murdered, all kinds of horrible things that everybody just assumes is regular life, being Black, Hispanic, or Native American. Everybody just assumes that's life, you know. That's how life works. You know, you get shot, that's just a part of life. You get molested as a kid, you know, your uncle, your cousins, the choir director, the baseball coach, that's just a part of life. You end up in jail, that's just a part of life. You understand? You end up sick. Shalom, sis, shalom, shalom. All right, sign in for attendance. Just sign in your name, city, and state for attendance if you're on Facebook, Bubba Kashaw, the water. All right. Everybody just assumes that's a part of life. You know, you get pregnant, you know, the father of the child leaves, you end up raising the kids by yourself. You know, if you Black or Hispanic or Native American, that's just a part of life. You go to jail, you know, you end up at the shelter, you don't have a place to live, that's just a part of life. You know, as a people, we can just assume these things because Christianity rules the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. Christianity is the chief enemy to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All of the horrible things that I just mentioned to you previously are because Christianity dominates our society, dominates our way of life. It dominates, you understand, what we think is right and wrong. All of these things come to us because of Christianity. The Christian church is the house of Satan, and it is responsible for every evil thing that has ever happened to you, me, or any other Black, Hispanic, or Native American. And to come into the truth, to come and serve Christ, that's a very important thing to know. One of the first things to understand is the way that we have been raised as a people by default is Christianity. If you are on a reservation, everything about your life is Christian. If you're in the ghetto, if you're in the barrio, you're in the suburbs, Central South America, the Caribbean, if you are a Muslim, everything about your life is Christian. If you are a Buddhist, everything about your life is Christian. Shalom, brother. If you are a Rastafarian, everything about your life is Christian. All right. Everybody watching, just make sure you put your name, city, and state for the attendance so we can take that attendance on Facebook as well as on YouTube if you're watching here as well. If you got any questions, you understand, just give me the thumbs up. Let me know you're able to hear me. If you have any questions, just type your questions in. I'll try to get to them. All right. All right. So Christianity is the reason for all of those things. And in order to stop the evil that constantly happens to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, there must be a force to stop the evil. So many times as a people, we believe that if we could just, vote better, things will be fixed. If we can cry enough, things will be fixed. If I make enough money and I can get away from this ghetto and I can get out of this poverty and I can get a job, that these problems will get fixed. And then you go to a bank and thinking that you can escape the problems of being Black, Hispanic, and Native American, that bank is going to ask you what race you are. And immediately, all of the problems and issues that we've been trying to escape as a people because we are destroyed, the bank is fully aware of it. That's what they're going to determine, what rate they're going to charge you, if they're going to approve you or not, what they're going to allow you. The bank understands this. Blacks, Hispanics, our people don't realize how important race is. Don't realize how important your nationality and your heritage is. The bank understands this. The schools understand this. They create and sectionalize where wealth is going to be distributed by school zones. And those school zones specifically are designed to distribute wealth to certain locations that are not where your Black and Hispanic children are. This is not done by accident. It's done by design. And we're going to show you in the law why and how these laws are so very important. That why God gave us these laws, statutes, and commandments and what their purpose is. You understand? All right. We're going to go first to Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 2. You understand? Deuteronomy is one of the most important books in the Bible, not to take away from the rest of what's written in the Bible. However, it's so very important in this. The Lord is laying down the structure and the framework. Even though we've all been in captivity, we're living our lives in Spanish and French and Dutch and Portuguese down in Brazil, under the British, under all of these oppressors. A lot of our people living life in Arabic because of the damn Arabs that sold us into slavery. We under them. Wherever we are scattered, these laws, statutes, and commandments, they are the blueprint to how to make our DNA function as a people. There's so many wonderful things inside of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that we cannot function without the Lord. You understand? Without the Lord to make sure that we are not sick, we're all going to be sick. Without the Lord to make sure that we know how to have the proper marriage, how to have the proper laws on sex, what the proper food is to eat, without the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments, we are all going to end up in jail, in poverty, first fired, last hired. Even if you get the top job that there is available at your position, you are still going to be those people that are the slaves. There's no escaping these things. That's why it's important. The Lord said these laws, statutes, and commandments, they would strengthen our people. As a matter of fact, we are going to start at Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 4. All right. So Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 4 says this: But ye that did cleave unto the Most High your power are alive, every one of you this day, keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. To a Christian, it is a small thing not to eat pork. It's a small thing not to be homosexual, not to be a woman having sex with more than one man, not to have abortion, because our oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks of, he teaches our people on purpose that we do not have to obey the Lord. And then even if you have never seen a white man in person, never went to school with a white teacher, never had to work or slave or even seen any of them in your community or neighborhood, every aspect of the thought process that you are being taught and raised in, because they conquered and destroyed our people, all of those thought processes come from the white man. All of them. The idea that all people can be saved is a white supremacist concept. It does not come from the Bible. The idea that God is okay with not keeping his commandments because we under the New Testament does not come from the Bible. You understand? So let's get some more. But ye that did cleave unto the Most High your power, or the Lord your God, if you're reading it in English, that's what it's going to say, are every one of you are alive, every one of you this day. These laws, statutes, and commandments, these are the keys to how we stay alive as a people. You wonder why is so much death, all of those horrible things that are constantly happening. It is because we are not taught to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That is literally like the activation to make sure that you stay alive. Our people have never been taught. We're going to get to it. I'm not going to get ahead of it. We're going to get to it. So Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5 says, behold, meaning look and pay attention to this. I have taught you statutes. A statute is a level inside of the law, and judgments. Judgments is the punishments for breaking that specific section of the law. Why does it say statutes and judgments? If you ever see the words in the Bible, if, and, or but, those are some of the most important literature, most important things in the entire Bible, those conjunctions, because what's before and after it is very conditional. You understand? The I.S.U.P.K is a school. We're not a church. The church teaches our people you can just sing and dance, and however you feel means that's how God feels. But that's not accurate according to the scriptures. You understand? The Lord said he taught us statutes and judgments, meaning the punishments for breaking the laws and the laws, even as the Lord my God, or the Most High my power, commanded me. This is Moses speaking, meaning these are not suggestions. God is not suggesting that you stop eating pork. God is not suggesting that you not be a homosexual. God is not suggesting that we don't steal. It's not a suggestion to not be a Muslim, which is the worship of another God, or not be a Christian, which is the worship of many different gods, none of them the God of the Bible. He's not suggesting that you not be a Rastafarianism. That weed you see black people smoking, that is the worship of a Hindu goddess. As a matter of fact, it's probably one of the most beloved gods, meaning when I say gods, I mean idols, in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. Our people have married themselves to these idols, and it infuriates God. So if you ever wonder why there's so much shooting in Norfolk, why there's so many shootings in Virginia Beach, why is there so many shootings in Hampton Roads, why there's so much violence in the Black and Hispanic community, you understand? It's not because of where we are located. It is because we are not keeping God's laws. There's no way around obeying the Most High. Everybody, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, man. You watching this video, hit the thumbs up button. You understand? Share the video. You understand? If you want to stop, if you want to see the murder stopping in the city where you in Norfolk, you in Hampton, you in Virginia Beach, thumb up this video, share this video. You understand? There's not 1,000 different ways to fix the problems in our people. We've cried for decades, all throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s, crack, heroin, positive test results, being homeless, neighborhoods getting shut down, losing the job. I remember 1 year, my mother's in the Army. I remember 1 year, I worked for the Army as well, Esau's Army. Now I'm in the Lord's Army, the I.S.U.P.K. I remember 1 year that the Navy had cut something like some thousands of MOS. You understand? That's what it's called in the Army. I don't know what it's called in the Navy, but they cut thousands of jobs and they fired thousands of sailors. All the brothers and sisters thinking that they can get out of the ghetto, get a good education, get out of the neighborhood by joining the white man's military. They just threw those brothers and sisters, cut their health care benefits, kick their families off the base. Your job doesn't exist anymore. You're no longer in the military. They just threw our people away. You understand? The Lord wants our people to understand and realize this, that we cannot get free unless we build our nation up. Outside of the I.S.U.P.K, a nation needs a military and a government. The I.S.U.P.K is the government and the military for all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And because only about the 10, 15, or 20 of you in Virginia have followed the order from the Most High to follow the government and the military that he set up in Virginia, that's why the rest of Virginia keeps getting killed. The Lord does not make you have to learn magic and rocket science. You don't have to be able to sing and dance. You don't have to be able to do any of those things to learn to obey the Most High. All you got to do is come to class. It's very simple. The things that seem so incredibly difficult and so very hard to fix are as simple as getting counsel from the actual men that the Lord set up. And most of the problems that our people have can literally be fixed by getting counsel from the prophets of the Lord. The problem is our people look at Christian preachers and fake Israelite groups and the mosque and everybody else as men of the Lord, and there are laws against that, which I'm going to get you in the Bible. We're going to get it all tonight. Again, if you got any questions, type your questions in. I'll see if I get to them there. All right, so we're going to keep rolling. Deuteronomy 4:5 says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God, or the Most High my power, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possession." You understand? Tons of times you hear, well, in the kingdom, we would do this. In the kingdom, we would do that. The Lord said these laws are for wherever we are on the earth. It don't have anything to do with being in the kingdom. Most of the time in the Bible, we did not have the kingdom. The majority of the Bible, we were in captivity under some other nation of people for breaking these laws. You understand? Verse 6 says, "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom." Meaning this is what it means to be wise. Your college degree is nice. You eating a healthy diet is nice. You drinking plenty of water is nice. You understand? You paying your bills. You're saving up for your retirement. You got health insurance. You're insuring your vehicle, which you better because it's the law. We keep the law in the I.S.U.P.K, the white man's law and God's laws. You understand? In a lot of our people's mind, that is what makes you wise. The wisdom comes from keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. There are tons of times that we as a people, especially a lot of you brothers and sisters coming into the truth, you're young in the truth, you don't have your Hebrew names yet. A lot of brothers and sisters still believe in getting counsel from your family members and people that's in the world. It's a very hard pill to swallow, but it's something that you must understand. God raised up prophets in the earth to say the things that God wants people to hear. Your mother does not hear from God. A lot of sisters need to hear that. A ton of brothers ruin their life and allow Satan to throw them out of the truth, listening to your mother, your aunts, your cousin. These are the people in the world that in our mind, we believe these people love us. But these are, you understand, the same people that will cover for the uncle that is molesting everybody and still sit at the table for Thanksgiving dinner. These are the same people that'll take you to church with the pastor that is molesting everybody. Now, though they may mean well, these are not the people you want to get counsel from. If the Lord allow you to hear the prophets in I.S.U.P.K, Commanding General Yahanna, because I'm nothing special. You hear me saying what I've listened to Commanding General Yahanna and the generals and captains above me say for a decade. You understand? I'm repeating what I was taught, and I'm not making anything else up. Get counsel from the men that God put in front of you. The I.S.U.P.K are the only men of God on the entire planet. And I'm telling you out of love, stop listening to your mother. Stop listening to your cousins. Stop listening to your grandma. These are the same uncles and friends and cousins that gave you your first Newport. That's how you became addicted to Newports. It was the cousins and the uncles that gave us the first blunt or the first Percocet and the first Molly. You understand? These is who the Lord allow you to come into a learn that you are an Israelite and put you before the men of the Lord so that you can come and learn. Do not take it lightly that out of all the brothers and sisters that hear what the Lord is saying through his prophets and I.S.U.P.K, don't take it lightly that you can understand that you are an Israelite, because Satan will take that knowledge from you. And before you know it, you'll be back having Christmas and birthday parties with a ham on the table with your mother. You understand? Don't do that. All right. So Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6 says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. You understand? For years, they talked about black people saying, well, you know, you wrong. It's specific in the I.S.U.P.K. You say God loves blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are for black people. They killing black people. They doing wrong by black people. We, Commander General Yahanna, been uncovering this for decades. And they said, you wrong, you evil, you speaking hate. And then finally, you got to see on video just within these last 10 years or so, how they actually killing and murdering and abusing brothers and sisters that are not doing anything just for the hell of it. That are not because they're poor, not because they're criminals, not because in your mind you think they deserve it. They're attacking our people just because we are the Lord's chosen people. And without keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, God will not protect us. God will not protect you. He will not protect your son. He will not protect your daughter. He's not going to protect you. If we do not obey him, God is not going to help our people. Everyone in the emergency room is hollering for Jesus. Everyone. Every shooting, every murder, every horrible thing that happens, everyone hollers for Jesus. Jesus does not answer in the vast majority of time. Jesus is not responding. God is not responding. You understand? We're going to get all of that here in the Bible. You understand? All right. The Lord said, this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. What does a nation mean? Who is a nation? What is a nation? A nation is a race of people. That's what a nation is. A nation is a race of people. The Chinese is one nation, or they are one nation of people. It's a lot, King. Just a moment. The Chinese are one nation. The Arabs, they are another nation of people. The Ishmaelites, they are a nation. The East Indians, the Elamites or Elam, they are a nation. The Japanese, the Ammonites, they are a nation. The white man is an Edomite. That is a nation. The Egyptians or Mizraim, they are a nation. The South Africans, the Canaanites, they are a nation of people. You understand? Those are just some examples. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are one nation of people. And without keeping God's laws on pork, on what to eat, on what sex is lawful, on sex being marriage, on not smoking, not getting high, in front of all of the other races of people, we look like absolute idiots. We look like fools. That's why no race of people respects us. Every other nation of people knows that they are to stay with their own. The Chinese don't mix with the Vietnamese. The different white men even separate themselves. The white man that calls himself an American separated himself from the white man that calls himself British. Because everybody understands how important it is that you specify your family and your heritage. Now, they're the same nation of people according to God. But even they understood when another people, another family of people is oppressing and hurting their family, you have to separate from them. Because we don't have this wisdom and knowledge from the Most High, we do not realize that we have to separate from our oppressor. Because Christian preachers teach us that God loves everybody. Everybody is God's people. The Bible is everybody. Jesus died for everybody. All of that puts tons of demons on our people that causes us to destroy ourselves. Something very common you'll hear blacks and Hispanics say. You'll hear, only God can judge me. You understand? Only God can judge me. You'll hear anybody ever heard anybody say that? If you on YouTube or you on Facebook, type in, let me know if you've ever heard somebody say, only God can judge me. A cousin, an aunt, anybody. If you ever heard anyone black or Hispanic say, only God can judge me. Let me give y'all a second. Let's see who paid attention. Only God can judge me. Let's see who's in class. Who said they're in class here? Call on some names. We in class, y'all, right? What I got here? I got Brother William. Young man William here. I got a sister here, sister Anna in here, Yarash here, a sister Shawnee in here. I got a sister Tanisha in here. Who here has ever heard someone say, only God can judge me? Who's heard that? Y'all type in there. Okay, one brother say he heard it. No one on Facebook has heard anybody say only God can judge me. Y'all never heard that before? All right. Say Quashar in here. Quashar, I know you heard that before. Say Malak is in here. I know Malak heard that before. Nobody else has ever heard only God can judge me. All right. The water. The sister said, I not said only God can judge me. Right. People say only God can judge me. I said it. There you right. And right. You said it. Brothers in here have said it. That is a very evil Christian thing to say. Is extremely evil in this. The first thing is this. God set up judgment to keep a nation in order. If there is no judgment like it is in the black community, because the white man understands getting judgment. The Chinese understand how important it is to have judgment. The Arabs understand how important it is to have judgment. But there's one people that truly believe this, and it's because we're the children of the Lord, and Christianity puts a spirit of outright rebellion against our people, that we believe only God can judge me. You understand? Like the spirit of only God can judge me means, who are you? Like, you can't teach me anything. You can't tell me that what I'm doing is wrong. You know, you don't have the authority or the right to try to tell me what's right or wrong. I don't have to listen to you. That's a very arrogant, a very prideful, and a very Christian thing that our people say. You understand? And it angers the Lord so much that the Lord established judgment in the earth. That judgment is so important. The reason why all of the crime is in the black community is because everyone has some horrible thing happen to them. And because there's never any judgment for the first person who robbed you, for all the robbery, for all the molestation, for your woman whoring on you, being with another man, or brother having sex with sister and throw her away, make you feel like garbage, those things require judgment from the Lord. If there is no judgment, the entire society is just chaos, which is the black Hispanic. That's the reservation. That's the barrio. That's the suburbs, the hood, the ghetto. It's absolute chaos because there's no judgment. And when you don't have the judgments that the Lord set up, you invite other nations of people to prey on you. We're going to get it all. We're going to go through a lot of scriptures here. We're going to get it all right? All right. The Lord said, Deuteronomy 4:6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes. They're going to hear these laws and say, surely this is a great nation and a wise and understanding people. They're going to say we're a great nation and a wise and understanding people. Right now, when they hear black people, they're not going to say this is a great nation and a wise and understanding people. They're not going to say that. They're going to hear and think, you know, people stealing from their store, people who can't keep their families together. You understand? People who are shooting up the neighborhood, the people who don't have jobs, who are losing their homes, losing their families, who can't keep their marriages together, can't keep their kids out of the streets. You understand? They can't take care of their communities. There are laws in the Bible about how to do all of these things. And because the Christian church teaches us we don't have to obey God's laws in the Bible, then that causes all of the problems that I'm mentioning here. Oh, it's lucky. This is not. Hold on. So, like, bear with me one moment. Charger working for some reason. Charger work. Maybe it's the cord that's not working. So, like, I can my wife, bear with me just a moment. Make sure this feed stay up here. Let's see. All right. So let's get some more. Now, what it says in verse 7, Deuteronomy 4:7 is going to say, for what nation is there so great? Like, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on, what is that? What's the new thing? TikTok. I'm on TikTok battling 1 billion people. And because all that's shown in the news and the media is black people marching, trying to get justice. You understand? Everybody sign in for attendance, Bubba Shaw, name, city, and state. Just sign in for the attendance. All right. Black people marching for justice. Black people trying to get politicians to do something for them. Black people needing places to stay. Black people suffering here and there. The only reason that these things are happening is because the leadership has failed our people. Like, the Lord appointed excellent leadership for blacks and Hispanics. Commander General Yahanna is the leader that the Lord put in charge of our nation. You understand? There we go. All right. And make sure the power don't die. Excellent, excellent. That's the leader that the Lord put in charge of our nation. You understand? All of the suffering that our people have come from not following Commander General Yahanna. Like I mentioned, there's so many easy solutions to the problems that we have that you simply have never heard of because most of our people are not in class. A wise and understanding people. You know what one of the most foolish things is in the black community? And that's going to bring us to our next scripture. We're going to go to Deuteronomy, the 18th chapter. One of the most foolish things in the entire community is black people doing a march talking about we need to unite. Saying we need to unite. We got to come together. We got to come together. When just amongst black Christians alone, nobody is united. There's 100 different churches in every single neighborhood. There's nobody that's united. No one is together. And in fact, everybody has their own leader. Of people that have all chosen their own leaders. This is a huge part of the problem. Everyone has decided that I'll lead myself. I'm my own leader. I serve God my own way, or I don't even need God. I'm going to do my own thing. That is a consequence of Christian preachers teaching that God's laws are done away with. You understand? This is what they would say. And another thing, that was a point that I did not make it to. That's what I was saying there. The people that are arguing, saying black people need to get it together, you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. These people, these Chinese, these Asians, these Arabs, these people with businesses in the black community, they truly despise black people. They see you in their business, their restaurant every day. Hello, my friend, hurry up. They absolutely despise our people in their spirit. These people, along with most of our people, do not realize everything that has made society function comes from this great, wise, and wonderful people that the Lord set up. But because the way that our nation is so broken, is so destroyed and so beat down, because of it, our people do not look like this wise and great nation. You know, a black man invented the laptop. A black man invented the ICBM computer. A black man invented the laptop. A black man invented the color TV screen for your laptops. Remember the old computers from the 80s? Those old computers from the 80s, you understand? As a matter of fact, let's pull that real quick. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 16. All right. Let's pull that. They're supposed to hear these laws and see that the way that our people function and know, like, these are the very wise people. These are the children of the Lord. But they don't see that when they see us because of how the Christian church has taught us to live a white man's lifestyle. A lifestyle of voting, a lifestyle of being a Democrat and a Republican, a lifestyle of joining another nation of people's God, their religion, joining their military, joining their police force, marrying their women or their men, killing our babies at the request of our oppressor, you understand, turning on each other. These things come from the Christian church teaching us that we don't have to obey God. All right? Let's get some more. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 16. This is the key for our people to be recognized as God's chosen people, as the people that he made on the earth that was better than all the other people. Nobody is seeing that because we've stopped keeping these laws. I'm going to walk you right up to it. And by the end of class, before the end of class, you're going to be able to see it. All right. Jeremiah 10 and 16 says, the portion of Jacob is not like them. Meaning Jacob is not like all the other nations. Jacob is the forefather. His name was changed to Israel. You understand? Israel then had 12 sons. They became the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? Who are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. The Bible says Jacob's portion is not like all the other nations. You understand? For he is the former of all things, meaning everything that is worth anything and valuable comes from so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Had we kept God's laws, statutes, and commandments, it would be very clear to all the other nations that we are God's chosen people and absolutely superior in every way, because we are. You understand? The black woman, the Hispanic woman, the Native American woman, she is absolutely superior to the African woman, the Arab woman, the East Indian woman, the white woman, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Asian woman, the East Indian, absolutely superior in every way possible. But without keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments, She's Cardi B, butt naked on the TV screen. She's Megan Thee Stallion, butt naked, all on the damn internet. She's the Bust It Challenge everywhere. On the street in a pair of drawers, a pair of tights, everywhere. You understand? That is what our people are looked at now because we've been separated from God's law, statutes, and commandments. All right? When it says the form of all things, just to run down some of these things, a lot of people don't know Abraham taught domesticating horses, man. People talk about horse and carriage and all of these things. Domesticating horses, that comes from our people. The refrigerator come from a black man. The freezer, also used to be known as the ice box, that comes from a black man. A brother made, you ever went to a blood bank or had to get blood donated? A black man invented that. Invented the blood storage facility on how to store blood for long-term storage and created blood banks. You understand? The cable TV, the cell phone, you understand? You got a cell phone, all of that. You think Apple, iPhone everywhere. Apple didn't make cell phones. It doesn't come from the Philippines, or Beijing, or Taiwan, or Taipei. It doesn't come from the Chinese. A black man invented the cell phone. A black man. You play video games? If any of you sisters got a man, ton of brothers got video games. You brothers got PlayStations, Xbox 360s, you understand? PlayStation 1s, Xbox X's, PS5s, Nintendo, Sega. They did not make the video game cartridge. Jerry Lawson, a black man, invented the first video game cartridge for at-home usage. Like every good and great thing that makes Earth and the world society function, that comes from our people. A Hispanic brother created the color TV. You imagine the TVs you used to see in black and white. Now look how the color TV has blossomed. They had the HTV, then the HD TV, then the plasma screen, then the LCD screen, then the flat screen TV, then the Super 10 TV, wall-mounted TV, small TVs. There's a damn TV on your phone now. You understand? Because of a black man, because of a Hispanic brother. You understand? All of that comes from our people. But we would be looked at as these great, wise, and understanding people had we obeyed the Lord. They would know, but they don't know and they don't realize it now because of how far our people have fallen from disobeying the Lord. You understand? And there's a ton of other inventions, man. You know, peanut, all kind of things. The potato chip. Imagine snacking. Everybody eats potato chips. And potato chips, probably the most popular, well-known snack in the entire country. A black man invented the potato chip. A black man in Louisiana. He was a chef. He was a chef. And he was running behind on cooking dinner for a dinner party. And he decided that it was going to take too long to make the potatoes. So what he did was he sliced the potatoes extra thin so that they could cook quicker. And when they came out, he's cooking the other dishes, going back and forth in the kitchen. And then it came out, the potatoes were so thin that they became crispy. The brother just said, oh man, what the hell with it? I'm going to just serve it to him anyway. And everybody loved it. Imagine eating potato chips at a dinner party. Imagine going to a restaurant like Fridays or whatever restaurants, you know, I don't know what restaurants people go to now. You understand? We go to the Benjamite spots. You understand? That's what we go to in the UPK. The Ephraimite, the Benjamite, the Dominican spots, the Mexican restaurant. I don't know where y'all going to. You understand? People in the world going to. But imagine you go to a fancy restaurant and the waiter bring you and your rib out some potato chips. Or you and the brothers potato chips. You were like, what the hell is this? Where's my food? Where's these potatoes that I ordered? That brother made potato chips by an accident and became the most popular snack in an entire nation. Damn potato chips. Just feel that for a moment. That's how great Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are. Your mistake becomes the greatest thing in the entire goddamn country. Well, the other nations would look at us as the people that make the greatest things on the planet. Most people don't even know that the computers and everything they're getting from Apple and the laptops, the cell phones. A black woman made the GPS that's in everybody's phone, the navigational system that's in your car. That comes from a black woman. A sister made that. Most people don't know that. Why is that? One, because the Christians are in charge of the black community and they don't want everything to be black. They don't want things to be too niggered. You understand? Black this, black lives, black baby. They want to be close to white people. That's why in everybody's mind, being close to God means that you are more white. You understand? You straighten your hair. You understand? You straighten your hair. You try to lighten your skin. If you get rich, you go in Hollywood, you chop your nose up like all the sisters done. You understand? You get your nose chopped up. You get all kind of work done so that you can more favor a white woman or a white man. Like these things destroy our people. And had we obeyed the Lord, we would have never had to deal with this. You understand? So it says Jacob is the former of all things, and Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts, you understand? Yahweh, the Most High power, is his name. You understand? So that's what the Lord is saying there. Let's go from there to Deuteronomy chapter 7, you understand, and verse 3. All right. The Lord has given us instructions in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. The Lord has given us instructions, all right? Should be way more people in there. The Lord has given us instructions, okay? These instructions are telling us what to do when we come into the land, all right? When we come into our land, we get in there, the Lord is telling us specifically what to do, all right? At one time, we would physically do this when the Lord gave that order for the armies to evict these other nations of people from off of our land. We are not allowed to physically put these nations out of our land and our communities now. Don't go and kick in the doors and throw all the Moabites and the Elamites and the East Indians out. Don't go put your hands or be violent on anybody. That's not what we're saying. The Lord, that is against the law. That is against God's laws here. You understand? We waiting on Christ. Christ is going to destroy this place completely anyway. So that's completely unnecessary. You understand? But these are the instructions that the Lord gave in Deuteronomy, just so that you can have the proper spirit of how the Lord feels about these other nations, man. This all lives matter, all people come together, this unity nonsense, all of that is against the Lord. The Lord does not want all people to come together. That's why he keeps making white men shoot everybody, to tell everybody that everyone should be separate. There's some lone wolf, and they make excuses for him because there should not be Chinese and Arabs and white men and East Indians and blacks and Hispanics. Everyone should not be in everybody's neighborhood. That's against the Lord. But again, everybody is Christian. So in a Christian's mind, well, everybody's supposed to be together. We are the world. Everybody's a human being. And that's how they prey on our people. Like the Lord is uncovering everybody's eyes so that they'll be able to see how foolish it was for all people to come together, man. All right. So Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. And that's also another thing, how important our history and our heritage is. The laws in the Bible contain the history and the records of our nation for centuries. And by the Christian preachers just teaching our people songs and dances and these stupid holidays like this Easter nonsense that's coming up, our people never learned the actual history of what it means to be black, or what it means to be black and Hispanic and Native American. That's why generations later, our children don't know anything about history. You ask a 20-year-old black, Hispanic, Native American, go ask them about some history of the previous few generations of blacks and Hispanics. The average brother or sister doesn't know anything about the history of the previous generations, let alone the history of our forefathers that the Lord is constantly telling us to turn back to. Never heard of it before. And that's the fault of the Christian church. You understand? Because history and heritage does not matter to a slave. A slave is not concerned with my heritage, my forefathers, you understand? They're not concerned with these things. A slave is concerned with how can I eat What is the next crumb I can feed myself? How am I going to survive day to day? Life is only about day-to-day survival for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans because they are outside of the I.S.U.P.K. Because they're Christian leaders and tribal leaders. Remember, I was mentioning earlier, talking about everybody having their own leader. Everyone has their own leader. You understand? Everybody got their own leader. Well, because everyone... That's why our neighborhoods get gentrified. Your leaders allow it. The Christian preacher is not saying anything wrong with other nations of people opening businesses and buying up your community. They're not saying anything. God has plenty to say about it. We're going to read it right here. So it says, Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. When the Most High thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it. Meaning when we were going to possess our land, where we come from in the Middle East, because Black people do not come from Africa. We ran into Africa from our homeland in the Middle East. Our land is in Israel. Israel is not a part of Africa. Let those stupid Egyptologists and that Kemet nonsense try to teach you that Israel is North Africa. None of that nonsense. There's a body of water that separates. The Lord made natural boundaries to separate whose land belongs to who. You understand? Israel is not a part of Africa. The land of Israel in its totality, the Garden of Eden, which the Lord gave to Adam, you understand? Our forefather Adam, where we get Abraham, Isaac, Jacob from Noah, that land is the Middle East, damn near all of it. If you look on a map, it is today, it is the land of Israel, all of it, Palestine, all of it, most of, if not all of Lebanon, Jordan, Yemen, parts of Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. All of that is the land of Israel. All of that is the Garden of Eden. That is where our land extends from. We never got all of our land because we kept disobeying the Most High. All of that land belongs to us. That's where we come from. So-called all the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, you understand, the Haitians, the Brazilians, the Colombians, all of the Aztecs and Mayans and Incas and Arapaho and Navajo and Shawnee, all of them come from our original homeland is the Middle East, is Israel. You understand? The West Indians, the Haitians, Jamaicans, the Bajans, the Barbados, all of our people, all the Negroes and natives, all these so-called Indians from North, South, Central America, and the Caribbean, our homeland is Israel. That's our land. All right? So the Lord said in Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1, when the Most High thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee. Let's examine that for 1 second. When it says cast out many nations, we already know a nation is another nation, another family, another race of people. When it says the Lord cast out many nations, who can tell me why the Lord cast many nations out? Somebody on YouTube, y'all watching on Facebook. There should be plenty of brothers watching on Facebook from Virginia. This I.S.U.P.K. Virginia mandatory class. Everyone in Virginia should be watching. You understand? You a brother in the school, an officer in the school, a trooper in the school. Everyone should be watching this mandatory Wednesday night class. So one of you brothers, tell me why. Who can tell me why it says the Lord cast out many nations? Any sisters can answer as well. Why does it say the Lord cast out many nations? Why does it say that? Let y'all respond for a moment. All right. Cast out many nations. All right, let's see. Y'all there? Y'all in class? I got a bunch of names. I got a bunch of waves. I got a bunch of check-ins. Let's see. All right. Anybody want to give it a shot? Anybody on YouTube, on Facebook, want to give it a shot? Why does the Lord say he cast out many nations from before thee? Why is the Lord saying that? Nobody? All right, we'll start calling on some people. Yarasha Mav, you there? Type in. Quashad, you should be there. Quashad, type in. Answer that question there. Why is the Lord saying that? In Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1, it says the Lord cast out many nations. All right. Okay. All right. So I see nobody. So nobody knows why the Lord cast out many nations. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead for time's sake. Nobody is familiar with the Lord casting out many nations, or why the Lord cast out many nations. The Lord said he cast out many nations before us because the Lord does not want, there should not be another nation of people in your land. In your community, there should not be any Chinese people in your community if we obey the Lord. It wasn't until Martin Luther King told us to integrate that black businesses started to decrease and Chinese and Asian and Vietnamese nail salons and dry cleaners started to increase. And African beauty supply stores and corner stores started to increase in your neighborhood. You understand? That Arab chicken spot started to open up in your neighborhood. That didn't happen until Martin Luther King told us to integrate, something that God told us never to do, which I'm getting ready to read in just a second. All right. So it says, the Lord cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and Girgashites and Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Meaning there were 7 different nations of people that lived in our land. They were already living there. Now, of course, we had been in Egypt for hundreds of years. We left our land. We left the land of Canaan. You understand, there was a famine, and we've been in Egypt for hundreds of years, and now they've moved into our land. So there's somebody else that's living in the land that the Lord gave to us. You all right? So why did the Lord say that? Why was the Lord saying these nations are going to be removed from the land? You understand? Why would the Lord say that? Let's see who we got in class in here. Can y'all hear me? Can anybody hear me? I'm not getting any. I got a response about 30 minutes ago. Is there anyone that can hear me? See, the sound is going out. I don't think, can anyone hear me on Facebook? No one has responded on Facebook. Can y'all hear me on Facebook? You understand? Can y'all hear me on YouTube? Can y'all hear me on Facebook? Am I in here by myself? Is nobody responding? Let me know. Give me a 1 if you can hear me. Give me a 1 if you can hear me. All right. The sound from time to time can go out on YouTube, on Facebook. Let me know if you can hear me. Somebody give me a 1. Y'all give me some 1s there. All right. Okay. So 1. I got 1. All right. 1. Okay. I got 2 1s. All right. To what? I got 2 1s. Can y'all hear me on YouTube? YouTube, can you hear me? I got no 1s on YouTube. All right. I can hear you. Okay. All right. No sweat. Give me a 1. If you can hear me, give me a 1. Everyone who can hear me, give me a 1. All right, I got y'all on Facebook. The water, y'all can hear me. Okay. All right, no sweat. Don't have the answer, honest answer, no sweat. All right. So the reason why the Lord is saying it, all right, the water. All right. So the reason why the Lord is saying that is because the Lord understands something, that we are still trying to learn this lesson to this very day as Blacks and Hispanics. Blacks and Hispanics still trying to learn this lesson. That God, I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna read it. We're gonna read it. Our people have yet to learn this lesson. For thousands of years of biblical history, we are still not learning. Every other nation of people understands this. I'm gonna read it and then let's see if you got it. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them. You understand? The Lord is saying, smite them, attack them, utterly destroy them, meaning wipe them out. Thou shalt make no covenant with them. Don't make a friendship with them. Don't make a pact with them. Don't make an agreement with them. Don't accept their culture. Don't look at the differences of how beautiful that their culture is. Don't look at, well, they serve their gods this way. Well, they have a God and we have a God, and they should have a right to worship their God, and we should be a part of worshiping their God. We should respect their Christmas and love their Thanksgiving and love their Chinese New Year and their Buddhas and their Allahs. We should all have coexistence and tolerance and rainbow coalition, and all lives matter. That seems right. That's what everybody's saying now. That good Christian spirit, man. We are the world. Everybody come together. That's Babylon. That's the religion. That's ancient Babylon of all people coming together and being one, and we can all coexist. Here's the problem with that. God understood much better than our people do. The Lord said, thou shalt make no covenant unto them, nor show mercy unto them. You understand? Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. For those of you who don't know, sex is marriage. God said never have sex with another nation of people. If you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American, God absolutely forbids you from having sex with a white, an Asian, an African, an East Indian, you understand, a Pacific Islander. God absolutely forbids you from having sex with another nation of people. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy sons. Here is why the Lord is saying. Now, physically, the Lord told us to wipe them out. This is the Lord saying genocide. Get rid of them so that no more of them exist. You understand? Why would the Lord say that? Here is the reason why. Now, physically, we are not attacking anybody. We're not telling you go and attack anyone. We are telling you even to stop attacking other Black people. Don't attack your fellow Black, Hispanic, Native American. Those are the only people Black people have a problem not attacking. Our own. You understand? Don't do that. Here is the reason the Lord said never join another nation of people. They should never be in your neighborhood. They should not be in your community. They should not be made to feel welcome. That doesn't mean you burn crosses on their lawn the way that they did to us. That doesn't mean you stone them or you beat them up and rob them when they put their key in the car. That is not what this is saying. That's against the Bible. That's against the law. What this is saying, at this time, the Lord was telling us to wipe these people out, to get our land, to get them out of our land, that they have no business being there. Spiritually, there was a time the Lord said to physically do this. Spiritually, it is time to do this spiritually. We should not accept them. We should not accept the other cultures of the other nations of people. You should not accept their Christmas and participate. You should not participate in Easter and Thanksgiving and birthdays. You understand? And Chinese New Year and the 4th of July, Independence Day, President's Day. No celebration that another nation of people. This is how you know. If you don't know whether it's something you should or should not celebrate, the I.S.U.P.K has a high holy day calendar. And everyone that followed the instructions and gave their name and email when they signed in at the sign-in sheet there, all of that correspondence information has been emailed to every brother and sister in Virginia or whatever state that you're from. That high holy days calendar tells you all of the days that the Lord wants us to celebrate. how we are supposed to celebrate it, where it can be found in the Bible. Because we're separated from our culture, which is why you're in the I.S.U.P.K, to learn the culture that the Lord wanted us to be raised in. For 20, 30, 40, many 50 years, many of us, we've been raised an absolutely different lifestyle that the Lord never wanted us to live. And you have to unlearn that lifestyle. Unlearn the lifestyle of making decisions and things on your own. You now have to learn to get counsel to make proper decisions, not based on all of the horrible thought processes that we were raised with being Christians. And that includes Muslims, every other religion, all of it is Christianity. You understand? The Lord said, here is the reason why you are not to join another nation of people. Because, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. Black people are Muslim because black men have accepted other nations of people. A lot of people attribute, the Nation of Islam, which is probably the way that the most popular way that so-called black people, specifically black men, got introduced to Islam because of the Nation of Islam. Very powerful movement, a lot of civil movements and things going on with the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, all of those things. I got you, brothers. All of those things going on. That's how it became exposed to the nation of Israel. You understand? That's how it became widespread. To the point now, you go in the hood, everybody's a Muslim. They go in jail Christian, they come out Muslim. Granddaddy's a Muslim, cousins Muslims, this person, that person, everybody's a Muslim, man. Islam, you almost think that Islam was a black religion. How many black people are Muslims? However, the Arabs are the ones that sold us into slavery. Arabs used to castrate young boys. Like imagine you 10, 11 years old, Arabs would routinely cut their testicles off so that they would not have any sex drive to want to have sex with women, so that they could be in charge of the harems. For those of you who may be too young, you don't know what a harem is. A harem is like a whorehouse, a brothel, you understand, where they would take for centuries our sisters and aunts and mothers and cousins, and they would take them back to the other side of Africa, back to the Middle East, where we ran from initially before we settled on the west coast of Africa. They would take them back in slave caravans across the Sahara so that they could be sex slaves for the Arabs. So that the Arabs, you understand, if you ever seen the Arab woman, you'll understand why they would much rather need to outsource a woman than to be with that Arab woman. You understand? They would take sisters to be sex slaves back in the Middle East. They did that for hundreds of years. The Arabs, the Africans, and the so-called white man, they got filthy rich from selling and dividing our people up. We were fighting 3 entire nations of people descended on us. Not all 12 tribes. They descended just on the bulk of Judah, Benjamin, and parts of Levi. 3 of our tribes, 3 entire races of people descended on us. That's what happened in Africa. We were always fighting the Africans. The Philistines are Africans. The Canaanites are Africans. All of these people that I just read, the Pergasites, the Jebusites, the Hittites, the Hivites, all of these are Africans. They were in our land. Our entire history, the majority of the Old Testament, is just us fighting these Hamites. That's why it's so foolish, and how the Lord wants you to put it in your spirit, how much that a Negro is not an African. They remember and have records of their people and their forefathers fighting us. Because the Christian church teaches us we don't have to keep God's laws, all of these thousands of years of history that's recorded in the Old Testament, your preacher just got everybody singing and beating the damn tambourine and got sodomites switching up and down the church. You never find out. We spent 40, 50, 60 years at war with the Nigerians that you trying to be a part of, Wakanda forever, and the Cameroonians in the West, and Ghana. Stevie Wonder moving back to damn Ghana like it's the motherland, when the Ghanaians that's there did not build their empire. We built the empire, and they sold us and got rich with the white man and the other Africans and the Arabs. Now you're going to traffic the white man's money. What little of it you were able to get in America, you are going to move it from American banks to the white man's banks in Ghana, thinking that you were part of the damn African movement. You thinking you were part of Africa, because the preachers failed to teach you that the entire Bible is about blacks and Hispanics. And most of it we spent fighting them. They don't want to tell you that. Why? Because it goes against the spirit that the Lord wants us to have. So let's get some more on that. They will turn away thy son from following me. Black people got introduced to Islam not because of other black people. Fard Muhammad is who taught Noble Drew Ali, who taught, you understand, Elijah Muhammad. And then once black people get it, it absolutely exploded. Next thing you know, Islam was the blackest thing ever, until one day Malcolm X went over to Mecca in Saudi Arabia and realized that it was a bunch of white men over there who was Muslims too. This wasn't about black people. And you know what Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam, what they were seeing in the 60s? You know what they were seeing? They were seeing the prophets in the I.S.U.P.K on the streets telling them that we were not to join the Arabs, telling them that we were not from Africa, telling them that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Our oppressor is the devil. They were telling them that in the 60s, the same way you see brothers saying right now, they were saying it. And you know what they said then? They said, I'm going to go be a Muslim. They said, Allah, Allah, Akbar. That's what they said. Assalamu alaikum. That's what they chose. 20, 40, 50 years later of dope and heroin and coke and shooting, has Islam stopped the murders in Philly or Baltimore or Norfolk or Hampton or Chesapeake? Islam, is that fixing Richmond? Absolutely not. The Lord told us never to do it. But one brother met a white man in prison, and he spread it to the rest of his people. Now, Islam is damn near one of the official religions of being a Negro. Islam. How? Because the Lord told us never to join or accept another nation of people. That's against God. That's anti-Christ. That's anti-Holy Spirit. That's anti-God. That's against everything in the Bible. This is why the Lord said it. That's just one example. Smoking weed is the worship of another God. Most black people don't know that. You understand? That that LGBT community is able to get a foothold in the black community because of all of the child molestation victims that are never getting counsel, because Christianity says don't judge. And there's never any judgment, meaning there's never any justice for all of the crimes that happen to everyone. And the white man is so evil that he's able to exploit the fact that he knows everyone is his Christian religion is spreading child molestation, that everyone is getting touched and fondled and abused as a Christian. Everyone. That's why the popes is paying billions of dollars in lawsuits. They bust preachers by the truckload every single month. And you Christians keep taking your sons and daughters to church every Sunday. And you full well know it, and you could care less as long as you get to eat pork. Like, that's how evil this spirit is. And where does it come from? It started with Martin Luther King telling us to integrate. Why the Lord says spiritually, you got to put in your spirit never to take a custom of another nation of people, never to join them. How do I know? You a young brother, you a sister, you've been a Christian 40, 50 years, you've been raised on birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, you understand? You get stressed, you smoke a little weed, you have a cigarette. You've been raised all of these various ways. You pray to Allah, you go to church, you pray to Caesar Borgia. You got a picture of Mary hanging up on the wall. Your grandma got a shrine dedicated to Mary in the living room. Abuela, everybody sinning against the Lord. How will you know? You have to come to class. You got to get in class, ask your questions. You understand? Get in class. And what you'll find as you are seeking to serve the Lord, that all of the people around you that you thought loved God, they could care less about the Most High. They don't want to learn about the Most High. The vast majority of your family and my family, you understand, in the world, They're not interested in serving the Lord. If it means giving up pork so that all of the child molestation will stop, the kids is just going to have to take the L. If it means that I have to give up cigarettes and give up Christmas and give up Thanksgiving and give up pork so that there's no more murders in Newport News and Hampton and Chesapeake, if it means that I have to in any way be uncomfortable for the Lord, nah. Like, that's a Christian spirit, man. That comes from our oppressor. That's not something that the Lord wanted our people to ever have. That is where that personal salvation comes from. That personal salvation is about the most wicked thing ever. But in your mind, if you're in the world, you're trained to think that personal salvation means, oh, she's so close to Jesus. She loves God. She loves Jesus so much. Like, she got personal salvation, your personal relationship with Jesus. Ain't no damn personal salvation, man. Jesus came to save his people. Personal salvation is such a wicked, evil, and selfish thing because that teaches our people to dismiss yourself from the rest of Black people's problems. That's why everyone says, I'm an individual. You're an individual. The only race of people on the entire planet where everyone is an individual are so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Hispanics got a tiny, tiny bit of covering because of the language barrier separating them from the white man here in America. But the preachers pick up the slack for the rest of it by making sure that they get more Americanized. And by Americanized, I mean more to love white people. You see, you straighten your hair more to get those curls out, to get rid of that ethnicity so you don't look that way. You understand? The same way that sisters perm their hair, straighten their hair. You understand? Like those things, that's a spiritual thing that they do. God in the Bible got an afro, sitting in heaven on a chair made of fire with an afro. But they want you to get rid of that. They want you to get rid of that, to get that out because it's spiritual. That beard, they want you to shave your beard so you be clean shaven. That's a Greco-Roman culture that they got from the ancient Egyptians, man. That hair was dirty and filthy. You understand? Like the Lord gave that beard. It's a law in the Bible not to shave your beard off, not to get shape-ups and cut lines all in your head and in your face, man. Men and women. That's against the Lord, man. That's the custom of another nation of people. Now, if you go somewhere, you would think it is a Black man's culture to get shape-ups, right? That's the barbershop. You sit there, you talk about sports all day. You understand? People in there selling stuff. Everybody in there arguing. You're there 4 or 5 hours. You get your shape up. That's not Black man's culture. Getting shape ups is not our culture. That's against the Lord. Shaving your face is not God's culture. That's against the Lord, man. Like the Lord is forcing us to turn back to him. All right. And if you in Virginia, you got to understand the Lord want our brothers and sisters to come together, man. The Lord it's something horrible that the Lord got coming for Virginia. When they put these casinos up, that's why if you a brother and sister, man, you stay in here, do your 90 days. If you a brother that wants to become an official part of the school, a trooper, so that you can build up your nation, be in your all Black. Contact the school, be in your all Black. We got schools and camps all across the nation in many other countries, Central America, South America, over in the UK, all throughout the Caribbean. You understand? It's time for our people to turn back and serve the Lord. Joe Biden is passing and pushing legislation to make all of the rights that the LGBT community needs. What you and what many of them don't know, while sisters help their gay best friend get rights so that they can marry each other, is the spirit of Sodom and Gomorrah was to legalize rape. That was the purpose. That was the last thing before the Lord burned down the cities. That's why you got senators that they fighting to legalize having sex with children. That's the whole purpose. Black people getting caught up in their lust and being damaged from all the damn child molestation, not realizing that the white man, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, that married you to this LGBT community, like they always exploit Black people in their ignorance to join another nation, which is why the Lord said, never join another nation. They're going to use you just like they've been doing, like that Black Lives Matter movement. You thought that Black Lives Matter was about black people. That Black Lives Matter was a lesbian movement. And then it was voting, Black Lives Matter. We got to vote. We got to vote. Where has Black Lives Matter been since that vote went off? Joe Biden is in office. Kamala Harris is in office. Did they stop killing black men? Did they stop gunning innocent black men down? Right? They stopped, right? It's over. No new black men getting killed by the police, right? It all stopped. Everybody went to jail, right? They ain't, randomly searching and harassing and slamming young black and Hispanic men down on the ground, slamming their heads on the cars, ripping sisters' dresses off at traffic stops and smashing their face in the ground. They stopped all of that, right? No, none of it stopped. You don't see the protest anymore. You don't hear the marching. Nobody's, burning down cities. Not that we agreed with any of that. All of it stopped. Why was that? Because they ran game on you, just like the Nation of Islam ran game on you, like Farrakhan did, like the preachers did, like everybody runs game on black people and Hispanics because you refuse to turn back to the Lord and follow the leadership that he set up. When they put them casinos up in Newport News, they put them casinos up in Virginia Beach and Portsmouth. They already burning brothers and sisters' apartment complexes every week. You understand? They setting houses and apartment complexes on fire constantly, all over Virginia Beach, all over Portsmouth, all in Norfolk, everywhere that black people are. They burning the businesses and places up, trying to force black people, not the businesses, but the apartment complexes and things, trying to force you out of the cities. Why is that? Because there's no force to stop it. The Lord is not on our people's side. Our people is in church, preparing for Easter to worship the fertility goddess. That Easter Sunday, that's the worship of the fertility goddess. That's what Astarte, you understand? Or Ashtaroth. That's a fertility goddess. You understand? That's got nothing to do with Jesus Christ. You understand? Nothing to do with the Bible. The Passover is what we are supposed to celebrate. That's way before Christ was even born, the Lord delivering us out of Egypt. We're supposed to celebrate the Passover. Nobody going to celebrate the Passover outside the I.S.U.P.K. Everybody going to make their own event. You understand? Shalom. All right. Everybody going to make their own event. All right. So it said, this is what happens when you join another people. They're going to bring in, when those casinos open up, other nations of people are going to come. Down where we speak at in Norfolk, it used to be all black people. They closed down them apartments on Tidewater Boulevard, on St. Paul's Boulevard. They pushing black people out more and more. And they're going to start doing it all around these casinos. And then when the casinos open, you're going to start to see the Arabs show up. You're going to start to see more white people. You're going to start to see more Africans. And they're going to show up and they're going to have businesses. And the economy is going to open up and tourists are going to come and they're going to flock. The COVID that the Lord sent has been holding that up. It's been holding up their progress. And when they open that up, black people are going to lose more and more of their homes and their places. This is what the Christian preachers don't consider when they put their trust in a politician, as opposed to getting in the I.S.U.P.K. to turn back to the Lord. They don't consider that without the Lord being on our side, our people don't know what good leadership is. Our people put Barack Obama in office. Barack Obama, the presidents before and after him, an absolutely new casino in Danville, Virginia. Brother said Danville, Virginia as well. Out in Danville. Black people ain't going to have anywhere to go unless you come in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? If we turned back and kept these laws, statutes, and commandments, you would have a force where the Lord would move on our behalf. You understand? Just like in ancient Egypt, the Egyptians did not let us go because they loved us, because they thought that Black Lives Matter. They could give a damn that we were in slavery and they were oppressing our people. The Egyptians let us go because the Lord was killing them, had destroyed their military, their economy. They were sick. They had plagues and diseases. They were losing their wealth and their lives. And that's why the Lord forced them to let us go. That is the only way you get free from another nation of people. You can't vote your way out of hell. We can't march. We can't beg. We can't plead. We can't do any of these things to get out of captivity. You understand? We're going to have to turn back to the Lord. Everything else we've already tried. All right? So Deuteronomy 7:4 says, they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So now that we're in Islam and we're in democracy and Christianity and we're voting, now everybody hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, man. Y'all watching in class, y'all hit the thumbs up, all right? Share this video as well, all right? Now that we Christian and we Democrats and Republican, now that we done integrated, and now black people don't see anything wrong if you were a Chinese woman like Young Jeezy, or, you know, you going and everybody passing Amber Rose around like the collection Blake. Black people don't see anything wrong. You know, it's 2020. You can't tell me, you know, who I love. You can't stop love now that you've accepted homosexuality. And here's an important thing. Just because you personally are not doing it, that does not mean a penalty still won't affect you. That's another Christian concept that's a demon that comes with that individuality nonsense that black people believe, that stems from that personal salvation garbage that preachers teach that is not biblical. If you drive drunk and wreck your car, and we're all in Virginia, if one person drives drunk and wrecks their car, your insurance is going to be affected. They're going to see how many nuts drive drunk and wreck their cars. And based on that, your insurance is going to be affected when the new rates come in. You understand? Like, the actions that we have is going to affect each other. If you are not a part of a force that is combating the demon that says homosexuality is acceptable, abortion is acceptable, interracial marriages is acceptable, if you are not a part of that force, which is only in the I.S.U.P.K, then the consequence to not having done your part to build up that force will still affect you and your children. Prime example. I'm gonna give you a prime example. All right. It has been a government movement to make sure that the black community, the black economy is destroyed. Everybody knows that. Anybody been to I.S.U.P.K classes a couple of times, everybody should understand that. There's a government movement to do so. To destroy our economy, to destroy the black family, to separate the black woman from the black man, the feminist movement, to give her the welfare, the rights, all of the tuition assistance and grants. The most educated person in the entire country, getting all the degrees, all the graduates, is black women. Nobody goes to college and graduates more than black women. But the community of the black women is still the poorest, the most disenfranchised, the most in prison, the most in court, the most getting killed, and the sickest. If there is no force to change the mindset of the way that the masses of black people think, the problems that come from not having that force will still affect you. I'm going to give you an example. The Bible says that sex is marriage. If you've been in this brother's classes any number of weeks, you've heard the scripture, Deuteronomy 22, 22nd chapter, Exodus 21 and 16. Sex is marriage. All right. The masses of black people do not believe sex is marriage. Most of our people believe that sex is, you can do whatever you want, have it whoever you want, however you want. A couple, you and your homeboys have sex with a woman. You have sex with a couple of men, a dog, whatever sex you want. You know, nobody can judge. Only God can judge me. That's in the masses of our people's mind. All right. There is no horn that is sounding an alarm that God is killing black people, Hispanics, and Native Americans for being homosexual. Nobody else wants to tell the homosexual community that. Everybody wants a party and everything, but no one is there to help poor black homosexuals pay for their AIDS medicine. They're not there for that. You understand? I think the last time it was something like what, $400 or $500 a goddamn pill, and you need like 6 or 7 different prescriptions, man. It's absolute nightmare. And we're not here to make fun or belittling these brothers and sisters because they've been damaged. Horrible, horrible. And they getting preyed upon by this community because there is no force to tell them that they need counseling for that molestation that happened to them. Just like most brothers and sisters, before Prince ends up a drug addict, or Michael Jackson ends up a drug addict, or Richard Pryor ends up a drug addict, or Juice WRLD ends up a drug addict, or Kanye West ends up a drug addict, or Chris Brown ends up a drug addict, or Famous Dex ends up a drug addict, or Lil Wayne ends up a drug addict until they find him dead in an elevator or in their hotel room. There's no force telling brothers and sisters, you need counseling. We have the counseling in here. It's not acceptable. It's not normal. Stop molesting children. We cannot accept the consequence and accept the result of all of this abuse and molestation. We're going to have to stop this evil somewhere and turn back to the Lord to make sure that the evil that was done to you does not happen to any other brothers or sisters. That is the only way to stop all this child molestation. The marches, the voting, the legislation, the Supreme Court and the government is working on legalizing having sex with children. That Ruth Bader Ginsburg that just died, she was working on helping getting legislation to lower the age of consent from, 18 years old to 15, 16. They want to have sex with these babies, just like in ancient Rome, just like in ancient Egypt, just like in Islam, just like the samurais, just like everywhere else, except amongst one people, which is our people, the people that God gave his laws, statutes, and commandments to, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Without a force to teach and change the minds of our people, to make them consider, damn, it is something wrong. I'm a grown man with all these damn shoulders and testosterone and a rod pretending to be a damn woman. Or I am a woman pretending to be a man, taping your breasts down and trying to look like Lil Wayne in basketball jerseys, trying to walk like a man, buying a fake rod from the white man. There's no force to stop it. And if every brother and sister does not do their part by getting in the I.S.U.P.K, getting into school, supporting the school, doing your part, coming to classes and changing your life. And for the brothers that really love and care about their people, get in your all black, contact the school, do your 90 days. Let the school know that you want to become a part of the school so that you can do your part to stop it. Because if there is no force to change the minds and the spirits of our people, your kids are going to go to school with a horrible sexual deviant that is a man dressed up like a woman. And this grown man is going to be in the bathroom with your little girls when they go to school. He's going to be able to go to the bathroom with your wife and your mother and your daughter and your aunts. He's going to be fully allowed to be in there with them. Now, there's a reason why you can't go in there with them, because you're a man. But they are blurring the lines so that nobody looks at a man as masculine and masculinity and should be where a man place and doing man things. And a woman is feminine with femininity and should be in a woman's place doing woman things. They want to swap the gender roles. They don't want to. That's why they pushing Lil Nas X like that. They want to make a man feminine and a woman masculine. But here's what you don't realize. While your cousins and everybody else is neutral is acceptance. With the whole gay agenda and everything, here's what everybody don't realize. That's still a man. You may want to recognize that man switching at your nail shop or when you go to get your hair done, or that cousin, because everybody got that gay cousin. We ain't telling you to attack him or hurt him or her or attack her or call them names or beat them up or do any physical violence or harm, none of that. But that brother or sister needs counseling because the Lord is giving them AIDS at a record number that they're not talking about. You understand? There's always a party for the sin, and our oppressor uses our sin as leverage against us. If that does not stop, they are marketing this to another generation of young brothers and sisters. So when your little 4 and 5-year-old granddaughters and nieces and sons and daughters is going to school, there's going to be some man teaching them that it's okay to have sex with adults. They're already doing it in plenty of schools across the country. But if you have not done your part to build up the only force that the Lord is with to combat it so that your sons and daughters are protected, I don't know. You understand? And I.S.U.P.K, we don't say be sure, we say make sure in here. I don't know about you. Maybe you can risk it. I don't want to risk that the Lord may or may not protect my sons and daughters and nieces and nephews. I don't want to risk it. That may be okay with you. A pork sandwich may be worth risking if the Lord is going to protect your sons and daughters. That Christmas, I understand. That birthday party, those Newports, you understand? Having Easter dinner, Easter service in church, having Easter dinner with your mom, celebrating 4th of July, that may be worth it for you, forfeiting the safety of your children. You understand? But as for me and my house, I'm not willing to forfeit the Lord's protection for myself and my family. You understand? You may be willing to do so. Most of our people are willing to forfeit God's protection for pork, for crabs, for shrimp. Most of our people don't even realize they have to earn God's protection. That's something Commander Gen.YAHANNA taught us, man. You have to earn God's protection. By default, our people sin against the Lord. By default, because we're raised in a society of the devil that the Bible speaks of. Our oppressor is the devil. This is his kingdom, his society. So we have not been taught how to be raised the way that the Lord wants. That is done in the I.S.U.P.K, man. And here is what the Lord said. Now that we've taken that, you think about that. Do you want your son and your daughter to be going to school, you understand, with some man in a dress or some woman who's pretending to be a man, and you're going to leave that alone with your daughter? You understand? What part of a man can she be? What part of masculinity can she exert over another woman? She don't have any testosterone. What force, what masculinity, what dominance can she exert over another woman besides violence? Besides trying to lie with a woman violently, or lie with another man violently as he's supposed to do with a woman. It's natural for him to lie with a woman. How would he lie with another man? In violence. That's what the Lord said. And you're going to let that be along with your kids. I decided a long time ago to join the force to stop the evil that I saw every day. If I was you, brother, I would do the same. If I was you, sister, I would do the same. I would get in here. I would do my 90 days. I would earn my Hebrew name. I would check in with the school. I would make sure, especially if you got sons and daughters. The Hampton Roads area is the #1 human trafficking area on the entire goddamn country. Has been for quite some time now. If you got sons and daughters, you better get in this I.S.U.P.K. The Lord said this place would turn into Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was the full extent of what the LGBTQWPFW is pushing for. Legalize pedophilia. You understand? If you don't want to have sex and they do, I mean, you're going to have to fight. You understand? Knuckle up. Meanwhile, a ton of sisters been helping the homosexuals get more and more rights. This man is trying to replace you. That all came with accepting Christianity and integration. And what did the Lord say for doing that? Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you. Meaning the Lord going to be furious at our people. And remember, if, and buts. Some of the most important words in the entire Bible. And destroy thee suddenly. That's why you see brothers and sisters getting killed all the time. The anger of the Lord pours out on our people, and then we die. Here is what the Lord said. This is what you want to put in your spirit. This is not to do violence or attack anyone. This is how you properly educate and feed your spirit, how the Lord wants you to consider the other nations of people. And this is how they look at you. When they see your son and you with those kids that you didn't abort, and that daughter with that hair and that afro and them braids and your nose and your lips, you think that, well, we all melanated people. We should all just love each other. Them East Indians absolutely despise you and your children. Them Asians despise you and your children. Them Africans and Arabs, they despise seeing you, despise you. That's why they set up businesses over the top of our people in the ghetto. They are preying on our people. And it is a consequence of the Lord being against us for joining another nation and serving their God. You understand? But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. You got a picture of a Virgin Mary or a Christian cross in your house, or that Kaaba stone in Mecca. You got a picture of that praying hands with the Virgin Mary or a rosary, or your mom or your aunts or something. If you own that house, you get that the hell out of your house, man. If you got it in your house, get them idols out of your house. Them Christian crosses, get them out of your house. Them Muslim prayer beads, that kufi, get all of that nonsense out of your house, man. The Lord getting ready to send the death angel through America. There's more plagues. There's more COVID coming. The civil war is coming. The race wars are coming. World war is coming. The Lord is going to let loose the death angel on America and every country on the planet before Christ returns. Here is where you learn how to get the Lord on your side so that the Lord's protection will be over you and your family. You understand? You understand? Why did the Lord say this? For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God, meaning the Lord thy God. Thy is a possessive pronoun. It means your. The Lord thy God. This is God of the Bible is only the God of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is only the God of the Israelites. The Arabs have gods. The East Indians have many gods. The white man made himself a god. They worship many gods. The Africans worship many gods. The ancient Egyptians worship many gods. We're the only people that worship one God. The God of this Bible is not the God for all people. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, meaning we belong to the Lord, meaning we don't have the right to choose to now go and be Democrats and Republicans. We don't have the right to go and choose to be a part of the LGBT community or the Nation of Islam or the 5%ers or Christians and Baptists and Catholics and Episcopals and Seventh-day Adventists. You don't have a right to choose to be something else. You understand? All of that is my God-given right. That's not in the Bible. The rights that God gave are in the laws. You understand? The Lord did not give us a right to go and be something else. You understand? That are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Meaning everybody that's on the earth, the Lord said, we are above those people. But if we disobey him and we join another nation, here is Deuteronomy 7:10. And repayeth them that hate him to their face. How do you know who hates God? God says to love him is to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. 1 John 5:3. That means to hate God is to not keep his commandments. So if there's a commandment that says don't eat pork, and you've eaten pork your entire life, well, guess what? Now that you know and you love God, you have to change. That is what repenting is. I used to eat pork, but now I know God tells me not to eat pork. And because of Christ, I was not killed when I ate pork. I have a chance to change. Now, there's sausage. There's pepperoni. I cannot eat pork. There's beef sausage. There's turkey sausage. There's veggie sausage. Before, I didn't care what I ate. You used to didn't care. It didn't matter what you ate. If it was food, I'm eating it. I'm hungry, damn it, I'm going to eat. Now that you are being raised up spiritually, you understand? You're being raised from the you can in your mouth, or stick your rod in whatever hole you can find, or jump on whatever thing that can catch your attention. You understand? Now you have to train yourself, feed your spirit. You understand? Now I'm going to read the ingredients. I got to make sure there's no pork in here because I love the Lord, not because I can sing or dance or go to church, because God said don't eat pork. And I prove that I love him by not eating pork. Very simple. I need turkey. Oh, they don't have it in turkey? Do you have turkey sausage? All right, let me get the turkey sausage. Let me get the beef sausage. I'll take a veggie sausage. What? Is there bacon on there? No, don't put any bacon on there. Don't do that. There's pepperoni. Is it beef pepperoni? Because they have beef pepperoni. If you ask, they got beef pepperoni. If you cared. The problem is the Christian church has taught our people not to give a damn about anything. Don't care who you have sex with. Don't care who's around your children. Let your woman go wherever, do every goddamn thing she wants, all in Dubai, all over the world. Next thing you know, her ass is missing. Have you seen her? Like, that ain't the spirit of the Lord, man. That's why you got to come and be taught again properly. You understand? But the Lord said in verse 10, we're going to finish this up, and repay of them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. Meaning, if I know God said don't eat pork and I choose to do it, the Lord is going to pay me back to my face and destroy me. You understand? He will not be slack to him that hateth him. Meaning, he's not going to delay. It may seem like, oh man, I've been eating pork my whole life. And then the cancer comes. Or then the digestive issues come. And then one day you start to get sick. Well, I'm not sick. There's nothing wrong with me. I've been eating it. Why? Eating in moderation. You're making excuses to sin against the Lord. The Lord, in your mind, is slack. But the Lord is patient. And he's merciful. And he's long-suffering. So it says to be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. Therefore thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and judgments which I command thee this day to do them. You understand? Like, this is how we get the Lord on our side, man. What you said, plantain? Plantains are lawful. You understand? Plantains are lawful. Nothing wrong with that, man. There's a list of foods that are lawful. There are fish that you can eat. There are fish that you cannot eat. What should you do? This is something that's very important that you want to learn, that the Lord has given you this opportunity to learn this in your entire life. The prophets that the Lord rose up, that he gave the ability to see the future, those men are in the I.S.U.P.K. And you have at your disposal a number to call and speak to the prophets of the Lord, and you should fall in line and pattern your life after the example that the prophets the Lord set. You understand? And with that, we up on the time, man. Water brothers and sisters, man. We the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. You understand? In the state of Virginia. All right. Y'all go ahead, clap it up. If you a brother and you want to become a part of the school, you want to be an official brother in the school, a trooper in the school, to get your Hebrew name, to go on a part to become an authorized teacher of the Bible, to help rescue our brothers and sisters from killing themselves while we are destroyed and being preyed upon by all these other nations. You be in your all black, contact the school 757-550-1204. The upcoming high holy days. We at the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. We are all under Commander Gen.YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite groups, any church, any religions. We're not affiliated with anyone. You understand? As you can see as of lately, for a very good reason. The upcoming high holy days is the Passover. The Passover is going to be April the 24th is going to be in Houston, Texas, at the BH Ranch. You understand? Everybody, book your hotels, get your plane tickets, pay your Passover fee. $200 for everyone over 17 years old. Do not miss it. It is going to be huge. There are tons of events. There's a children's party. There's a mansion party. You understand? Tons of events. We're going to the shooting range. Lots of things that are happening. The Passover, get your information ready. Do not miss the Passover. You understand? The Feast of Unleavened Bread follows sundown the following day after the Passover. You understand? Sundown that Sunday begins the Feast of Unleavened Bread. 7 days we're to eat unleavened bread. Prepare. Of course, there's some weeks away. Prepare to get the yeast and the leaven out of your house. You understand? Before you get to the Passover, you understand things that have baking soda, leavening agent, rising agents, yeast. You got to read the ingredients. You come into the I.S.U.P.K, you got to learn to read ingredients. You understand? No yeast is to be eaten at all for 7 days. You got to eat unleavened bread. For those of you who don't know, there are recipes for unleavened bread. Contact the school to get more information about how to make unleavened bread. If you are not physically there at the Passover, the Feast of Unleavened Bread will be sundown the following day. There'll be unleavened bread there. But for 7 days, we are to eat unleavened bread. The easiest unleavened bread to get is like a tortilla, not the flour ones with the rising agent in it, but the plain corn or crunchy tortilla. Those do not have yeast in them. That would be an unleavened bread. Doritos are like unleavened bread as well. That same corn tortilla bread type there. So with that, pay your tithes. You can pay them on Zelle. You can go to the website, I.S.U.P.K.com. You understand? Go and select your tithes. Make sure that you pay your tithes. And remember, the only way to stop the evil that you see, if you're tired of these shootings, you're tired of these murders, you're tired of all the horrible things that you grew up with in Newport News and Richmond and Hampton and Chesapeake and all over, if you are tired of them, there must be a force to combat it, to teach our people not to do these things, not to accept these things, to get the Lord on our side. You contact the school, you get in this I.S.U.P.K, do your 90 days. Sisters, get your Hebrew names. You stay locked in. Pay your tithes, man. And with that, y'all all got the number. Shalom. Everybody coming out. All right. Tune in for the class. Next class will be Friday, that Hebrew language class. All right. Shalom. Y'all about Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatham. Y'all Shema Al Shah to the sisters. Shalom.